Hi, my name is Jasmine Williams from the United States. Um, my testimony is that, like, even from like a young age, I was just seeing literally so many things, but like I didn't understand it. Like one of the things in which I remember I seen was that it was the first thing I seen. I was in second grade and I seen this thing in which I seen on TV. Um, but at night I was seeing it over my brother. Like I was just seeing it over my brother. But I had woke up spiritually, and I remember I like when I seen it, I was just screaming, and I was screaming for my mom, but they like my family couldn't hear me, and I was sleeping literally in the same room with my brothers, with my two other brothers, and my mother was in the next room, but none of them could hear me as I screamed. And so I was just screaming and screaming, and this thing like it fled, it went away. But like even after they left, I was just like I kept on screaming, but nobody could hear me. And then eventually, that's when they heard me, and they had woke up. And when mama came to the room, I told her about it, and she was basically saying that I had a nightmare, but I knew I didn't. And my brothers, which they were sleeping two in the bed at that time, two in one bed at that time, they allowed me to get in the bed with them, and then that's when God he put us all back to sleep. But further down the line, I remember I was seeing someone looking through the window, but this person had like a glow, like they was, like this person was had a glow about them. And but when I woke up and I seen that, like I woke up spiritually once again, but this further down the line, when I seen that, I screamed yet again, and nobody heard me, nobody could hear me. I remember I even tried to like move my mama to wake her up. She didn't hear me. I mean, she didn't wake up, as well as like I was screaming, nobody heard me. And I remember eventually when I even ran out the room and to go tell my mom, but yeah, nobody could hear me. But eventually when I went back to the room in which me and my brothers were sleeping in that time, I was still seeing a thing on the window. But then I remember I had looked over to try to like I just looked over and I seen like the light from heaven shining down on earth, and it was dark at night, literally dark at night, and heaven's light was shining down upon earth. That light was bright, by the way, but during that time I didn't know. I still didn't understand what I was. I didn't know that in which I was seeing. Um, and then also like down the line, God he sent his servant. Her name is Cheryl Bradley, and delivered my family in that which the enemy was trying to do with my family, trying to break my family up. Uh, like the enemy was trying to use my dad to break the relationship that me and my brother had with my mom. Like my dad was just trying to get us to turn against, trying to get us to turn against our mother, so that way he didn't have to pay um, child support. Even try to put something in which he was going through and like that he had to deal with, and since him and my older brother had the same name, try to put it upon my older brother, but God deliver us from all which the enemy tried to do against my family. He delivered us from all the attacks of the enemy. And then I remember there was even like a time in which I just kept on dreaming about my dad, like literally. Like I just go to sleep, dream about my dad, go to sleep, dream about my dad. Like it kept on happening constantly. Like I didn't tell nobody at first, but then eventually that's when I went to my mother and I told her about the dreams in which I was having. And that's when my mother, she went to the prophet in which God had sent to my family. And then that's when the prophet told my mom that God was speaking to me. So that's when my mother, she had relayed the message back to me. And so ever since, like, I knew that God was speaking to me about those dreams I was having, that's when I literally started to listen. Like, there was even a dream in which I was telling my brother something, and I would, like, it's like me and my brother had a connected dream. Like, I was telling my brother something as I was sleeping, and when I went to go tell my brother like about it, he said he even had a dream that I was telling him something. But like, it was like I woke up, I knew it was on my mind, but then when I fell back to sleep, like, and then woke up again, I forgot it. But the only thing I knew was to but the thing in which I knew, I told him do not take the car, which my dad was trying to give him, which was something he had a deal, which my dad had a deal with, but my dad was trying to put it on my brother since they had the same name. So God deliver us from that. So literally, because I found out that God was speaking to me during those dreams, I started to think that, every dream I was having came from God. And I remember I had this dream and I was just seeing something evil like next to me. Like, it was like a dream like about my dad, and then eventually I saw something even next to me. And because of that in which I seen, like, I just, like, broke off the relationship with my dad. Like, I didn't talk to him or anything. So so the relationship was broken off between me and my dad. So then further down the line, I was just seeing and hearing things, and when I would try to tell others of that in which I was seeing and hearing, like, just thought I was, like, making it up, or basically, like, just saying it. But I remember this prophet, she told mama, that basically I wasn't lying, like, stuff spiritually. And I remember this prophet, I wasn't with my mom at this time, but this prophet, I remember she anointed my mama. And, this prophet told my mama to do the same thing to us. Basically, like, I wasn't there to know word for word what she said, but I know that when my mom came home, she anointed me and those in which I was living with, siblings, and those in which I was living with the anointing oil, and we cast out all them, all those devils that was in the house. And I remember there was just such peace that just came over me, like it was like a great peace that just came over me. Like, from then on, I was able to relax. But I remember as my sister, as she was born, like, I was just, how put this, basically, I didn't want her to go through none of those things in which I went through. So I remember I just, like basically, it just basically, I didn't want her to go through none of those things in which I was going through. And I remember one day, literally, when I came home from school, I still had my uniform on. I was in high school around that time, so I still had my uniform on. And my sister, she was a baby at the time, and she was downstairs in a room which my mother was sleeping. And I remember literally, I had my hands both my hands behind my head, and I was laying in the bed, and I was just thinking. And I remember as I was thinking, like I had a window where I was able to see the sky and those across the street. And I was just like looking at the sky, and I was thinking. And I remember as I was thinking, I seen an angel in the sky. Like she had the blue belt like around her waist, and she had big wings, literally big wings. Um, and but when I saw this angel, I thought she was pregnant or she was holding something. I did not know. Um, but then, you know, I think my mom went and told the prophet, but the prophet, she said that, God was letting me know that he has my sister. He was letting me know that he has my sister. So basically, I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about my sister. Um, so basically, those things in which I was seeing, like, I really didn't understand. Like, for example, like when I was younger, I remember we didn't go to like basically church as often, so we really didn't have a ride to church. But that time in which we actually did go to church, we went to church with somebody at that time. Like I was younger. This pastor, he was preaching. I don't remember what he was preaching on, but he was preaching and he was saying the word like men. And because he was saying the word men, I thought it didn't have nothing to deal with me. 'Cause, I mean, I'm not a man. So but he was talking about men as in like as in a body, not just like the gender wise. But I didn't understand. I didn't understand, neither did I know like no such things. So basically, I was unlearned in those things of God. Like I didn't have nobody to literally sit with me and literally teach me those things of God. So I remember like further down the line when I came home from going to college at Jackson State University in Mississippi. When I came back from college, that testimony is actually, I sent it to AMI, but when I came back eventually, like, God started to mold me. Like, I even have friends, like, as you can count literally on one hand, all of them gone. All of them gone. But what I noticed that as those friends was gone from me, God, he began to mold me and teach me himself, literally himself. I remember when he guided me back to school, caused me to go back to school. But when I was afraid, because when I was afraid to fail, like he let me know that it was all right. And then that's when, like when I got my first 100 on a quiz, that's when he let me to know it was all right. And like just he led me to a school um, where I began to learn about him, literally. But also, even as I was in this school, he taught me himself, like some of the things in which he taught me was that all dreams didn't come from him. As well as like, and he also revealed to me like some of the sins I had, and like one of them was like was that I was doing itinerary or whatever you say it. But I was just thinking of it as like, when I heard like anything like dealing with idols and stuff like that, I was just thinking about it as like little figurines. But God, he taught me that it could even be like a person or just or anything that you put like basically before him. And so God, He revealed even my sins to me. He, he led me to know that I was placing someone before Him. And so I had repented. And I remember as I fell asleep, I heard my same voice in which I had prayed to God. I heard my same voice in which I was praying to God as I repented, and I was seeing like just literally white. So that was my confirmation that that was something that I was doing, as well as He led me to know that I lived a proud life. And like if He didn't reveal that to me, I would have never knew, literally. But God, He raised me up, and even as like those who left, like I literally had zero friends among men and women, but God, He stayed with me, and like He would even show me the word friend. Um, so yeah, so God, um, so even when I didn't have friends among men and women, God, He was my friend, and I remember basically um, I used to be that person that like I would look for people like just outside of my family to like speak to. But God, He basically let me to know that I can speak to Him. So I remember as I opened up to Him, like even like a little bit, all of a sudden I just started opening up to Him more and more. And like He's my best friend. So God, He taught me and raised me up Himself. So when it comes to who gets the glory in teaching me is God Himself. Oh, and one of the things God, He taught me was how to rebuke devils. Like I used to be I used to be that person that like when I see something evil, I would be that person that, sing a song about God, or just song with Jesus in it. But God, one day He led me to a sermon which His servant Benny Hinn was preaching, and but as he was preaching, like he was doing a demonstration and stuff like that, and the demonstration which the pastor was doing was literally describing me. So um after hearing the word, I took action and I started rebuking devils. And I remember as I fell asleep, I heard God Holy Ghost said rebuke it. It was a devil trying to make me deaf and mute, but God destroyed that devil, and I'm still here. um so um So God, He taught me, and I went through a time of literally a time of like it was trial after trial. And I remember as I was in random trials, like I was deceived by the enemy, but God, He had delivered me with His prophet Cheryl Bradley. Like the enemy was pretending to be God, but it wasn't. But I remember as that time, in the time when I was literally being deceived by the enemy, my mom, she came to me, and like she was showing me AMI. She asked me did I want to watch, but I said no at that time. So eventually, when we moved to the place in which God chose, a thought came to me, and I thought of AMI. So I started watching the videos, but at that time I was just I started watching the videos, but at that time I was just only watching the prophetic moments. I wasn't watching the sermons or nothing. So as I literally kept on watching the prophetic moments, God, He led me to the actual sermon. But during the time, like I didn't even know it was God that led me to MI, and I didn't know it was God that led me to those sermons. And as I kept on watching the sermons. Like I was watching a video, and as I was watching this video, I heard somebody say something about spiritual father. I have literally never heard of spiritual father, but I remember eventually I had accepted Africa as being my spiritual father. But during that time, it was like it was rare for me, because like the only person I really trust was God, and literally I depended on God, and like I don't I like only trust those, and like I only trust those in which God lets me know that I can trust. But during that time, like I just immediately accepted Afro. But eventually I stepped back because I wanted to know if this person was from God. Because, I understand that you can't listen to like every voice that is out there. And I remember one night I fell asleep and I had this dream, and I saw that I was in a dark classroom and something was holding on my waist, like it wouldn't let me go. It was a devil. And I remember as I'm in this dream, like I'm literally screaming for Jesus, like over and over again. Like I was saying, Jesus, Jesus, but I was yelling it though. And I just don't know. I don't know what happened next, but the the next thing I remember is that I remember I seen the back of the elementary school in which um, I went to, and I remember I was seeing the devil, like this demon, just sitting on the floor, and literally while I'm in this dream, I'm casting it out, like no, like literally, like literally as I'm in this dream, like I'm rebuking it. And I remember as I'm rebuking it, I'm seeing this devil like it's just like throwing up, but it was black. And then all of a sudden that's when I see Africa. He was dressed in a white suit, and he said to me, he said next time bring him in the congregation. And so eventually down the line, that's when I accepted Africa as being my spiritual father, because God had sent him to me. And I watched the live streams and things, um, and I literally have been learning. Like one of the things which I like is that it's so like it's taught to where I'm able to understand it. It's not a teaching to where it goes literally over my head and I don't know what is preached. So that's one of the things I like, that it's easier to wear, like it's spoken to where I'm able to understand it. Like at times, certain things we say that I don't understand, but God, He helps me to understand, which whoever His servant that is speaking is saying. So I have been really blessed with AMI. I have been really blessed with the teachings of AMI. Like just thank you to Africa as well as Celestial Cow, like just for the many prayers and the sacrifices you have done for us, your children. So thank you to every servant of God at thank you to every servant of God at AMI for all the hard work you put in, even the prayers which you have prayed. Thank you literally so much. Um, so yeah, be blessed when they lose. A few things I forgot to mention within the video was that before my dad actually came back into my life, I just went through a time where I just wanted to know who my dad was. And God, God, um, he brought my dad back into my life. Uh, Actually, my dad was the one that messaged me on social media, but obviously my mom had to confirm that was him or not. So from then on, me and my older brother started spending time with our dad. I remember even in elementary, and I told um, my band director about my dad and all that, just basically about him being back in my life. So yeah, God brought my dad back into my life. But also, like as what was spoken in a video before, was that because of that which I seen in a dream, like the relationship with me and my dad and all that stuff, it was broken. So, and then the further down the line, that's when God told me about me having a division with my dad. So so yeah, I was creating a division between me and my dad, and yeah, so um, so yeah, and God don't like division within His church. So God reunited me with my dad. So I talk to him every now and then, as well as led me to my brothers, which is on my dad's side. So now I have their numbers now, and yeah. So yeah, God led me to my brothers. Those that have someone that's next to you and is teaching you of God, like cherish it and just continue to grow. So yeah, thank you.